Hello guys, what's going on? My name is Hiroshi from WebStylePress.com. Welcome to another video. If this is your first time here, we share software engineering tutorials on this channel. If you want to learn and grow in this area, join us by hitting subscribe button and bell icon. As your app grows, you will have a lot of components that will take and pass properties or props in between each other, and it's easy to lose track of what type of data a component requires. And so you can pass, let's say, a string data where a component required a number value. You can catch a lot of bugs with type checking. To avoid such mistakes, you need some mechanism to check type for your data. To answer this issue, there are several tools and techniques that are available like Flow, TypeScript, Proptypes. We will explore Proptypes in this tutorial. You can define which type of data you are passing through components, and it will warn you if the data type is wrong or in case you just forgot to send a required value as prop to a child component. I have got this simple component and simple app. It's a class based component, and the output is here, and we are discussing mechanism to check type for your data. And we have got TypeScript and we have got Flow that we will discuss in later videos. In this video, we are looking at the prop types. Type checking with prop types. It's a simple mechanism that can be used to check data types in your app. So let's create a simple app and check types for our data. So first of all, we need some kind of data, and usually in our applications, data comes from this state. So we will declare this state in this app. So we declare state before the render, like so. Constructor props super props, and this is our state. This dot state is equal to object. All right, in this object I have got the name, that is John, and this will be a string value. Okay, and let's say age is 20, and this is number value. And then another data, let's say, is logged in true. This is a boolean value, comma separator, and fruits, let's use array here, apple, orange. Okay, so this is our data and different types of data. This is string, and this is number, this is boolean, and this is array. So let's display this data in the component, but we will not display this data in this component right here. We will create another child component and we will pass this state to that child component and will display data there. So this state is required, this state will be required by that child component, and we will check the types of this data in the child component. This state or the data from this state will be passed to that component, so that component needs checking. So let's create the child component. This is my source folder containing the components. I will create another file here, and this will be my data component. Let's call it data.js. So this component was a class-based component, and this component, for this component I will use function-based component. Import React from React const data props arrow function and simple return, not render. We won't use render here because we use render in a class based component. For function components we use just return. Let's use a div here, and here we will place our data, and these props will contain all the data. So what data we will be receiving in this component? Curly braces, this is JSX, and in JSX to execute something we use curly braces. So inside the curly braces we are expecting the name. So props dot name, and here will be the line break, and we are expecting age, props dot age. See, this is name and age and is logged in, and this is the array, and then we are expecting a boolean value, yes or no. So we will apply just the check. We will apply just a check, and if the boolean value is true, then we will print something else, and if the boolean value is false, then we will print something else. So here is the curly braces, and inside this we will use ternary operator. So we will receive is logged in, or let's say logged in, and if this will be true, we will print logged in. In other case we will print logged out. Next we have got each element in the ReactJS should have a closing tag, a thing to remember. So now we will receive an array, and let's print that array. So props dot fruits dot map fruit arrow, and inside that arrow we will print our data. That will be the fruit. So our array will be printed here. So maybe there is another kind of data or something that we need to cater here, and that is a function. We have got the string, we have got number, we have got boolean value, we have got array. We need a function as well. So function will be called at a button click. So let's use a button here. So here is our button, and on click of this button, props dot HandleClick, and what shall we do at this click? Let's modify the name. Change name to Doe or John Doe. Okay, so this is our component. It is a dumb component and we haven't exported it. We need to export this component. So export default data. So let's use this component inside this component. First we will import it. Import data from data. Data. And we will just use this component here. Data. So we have got a lot of errors here because we did not pass the state or data that was required at the first place. We need to send all of this data to this component. So let's do it. So we need to pass the name. This is the prop name. Here, if I will use like this, then I will have to use the same here like this. Okay, so this is name and this is the name. So what value it will carry? What value will it carry? It will carry this thing. So this is a class based component. So I will get this value and pass it to this child component. So this dot state dot name. Okay, let's copy this. Okay, so name and the age, this dot state dot age, and then will be is logged in. This dot state dot logged in, and I used logged in here as a prop. So logged in. Okay, so next we have got fruits. Fruits, this dot state dot fruits. All right. Okay, so less errors this time. We have got our button, and we have got the John and the 30 logged in, and we have got our array values. Okay, so warning, this is a warning. Each child in a list should have unique key prop. Okay. So this is kind of a loop. This is not a loop, but this is kind of a loop. A map is basically a reference to each value in the array. So it is expecting a key for each value. Key. I am using the same key that is the name for this, because this is a small app and it doesn't matter. Here should be some kind of number or ID or some unique value. So the error is warning is gone. Okay. Let me just use a line break here. Okay, so this is the name, this is the number logged in, and if I change this to false, it will be logged out here. Let's change it back to true value, and here is the logged in, and this is the apple and orange. These were let me add another here, grapes. So this thing. Okay, so at click of this button, let's say this name should be changed. So let's get to this. Okay, so in this child component, props dot HandleClick. So we need to use this is kind of a reference. Okay, so we need to use this HandleClick here. Inside here, HandleClick is equal to change name, but this is the class based component, so we will use this dot change name, and that's it, nothing more. This is our function here. Before the render, I will use this function, and I will use arrow key, fat arrow. I will use fat arrow, and this dot set state, and in this state I just want to change this name, this dot state dot name, or should I just change its value, John Doe. Let's try this out. Okay, the button is not here, button is not in this component. We are just passing this reference. This should be change name, Okay, so the button is not here, but the function is here that is doing something. Okay, so the function is here, but we are passing the reference for this function in this component, in this child component, props HandleClick. Okay, this HandleClick, and here this is HandleClick. Inside it, this is the function, and the function is here, that is actually performing something, doing some action, performing some action, or changing our state for just this key value pair. Okay, so this is the John. Change name to John Doe. It's pretty straightforward. The name has been changed. Or if this dot state dot name is equal to Jean, change it to Jean Doe. Else just change it back to Jean. Simple if else. Toggle the name Jean Doe Jean. Okay, so name is being changed and the data is being passed, but we have to do the type checking that we are passing the data, and we have to check the validity for the types of this data. So let's do that. To do that, we have to install this package from npm. So this is the command npm I proptypes. I will copy this, and here is my terminal. Let me just come out of this thing and just paste the command, and I will use yarn add proptypes. So in my dependencies, in my package.json file, I have got the dependencies as React, React-DOM, React scripts, these three dependencies. And now I am adding another package to these dependencies. So the package has been installed. Now we have to use this package to check the data types. So data is passing to this component. We have to check the types in the same child component. We will import this new package here, like so. Import Proptypes from Proptypes. Okay, now we will use this variable and we will use it before the export. So data dot Proptypes is equal to this one, object. So this component is receiving properties. We will use each property inside this, like so. Name Proptypes dot string. This name should be string, right? So we will use this string. And this Proptypes has a capital letter, but this is not. So we are using this variable right here, but this is from the prop types. Okay. To remove the confusion, we can also use it like this: check data, and then we can use it here. Okay. So this name can be anything. You can import from prop types anything, and then you can use that with the same name. You can import stuff from prop types with the any name, and then you can use the same name here. Okay, so we have used the name here, then we have got a few more properties to check. Like we have to check age, and age should be number. We are expecting a number for the age, and then we are receiving logged in, and logged in, this is a boolean. And then we are receiving fruits. That is a an array, and then we have got the function call, that is HandleClick. So HandleClick will be a function. Okay, more on this you can read from here. See my component, there is the component name, prop types, and inside this thing we can use these types: array, bool, function, number, object, string, and symbol. All right, so let's see. So this is our component displaying same data, and this type checking should work now. So if I pass different data type here, like this is the name, if I pass age here, let's see what happens. It gives me a warning that failed prop type, invalid prop name, of type number, supplied to data, expected string. So for this name here, it was expecting string, but it got number, so it gave me the error. So this should be, the error should be gone now. Okay, so if I pass name here, where it should be age here, it gives me the error again. Warning, failed prop type, invalid prop age, of type string, supplied to data, expected number. Okay, so if I remove the age from here, what happens? The age just got removed. Can we make it mandatory? To make all this mandatory, or any of these mandatory, you will just use is required. Dot is required. Okay, so now I have mentioned that age should be required here. If I remove age from here and do not pass age to that component, it will give me the error of warning. It is at the development level. Your app will work, but in the dev mode, you will receive the warnings. Failed prop type, the prop age is marked as required in the data. Okay. So if you forget to pass some property that is required, it will give you the warning. Now the warning is gone. And see, this HandleClick should be function. If I use string here, it should give me the error because it was expecting string, but it got the function call. So let's revert it and the error should be gone. So in this way you can check the types of your data, and this is at the development level. So this is your DOM component, this is child component that is receiving props or properties, and if you want to check the data type, then you can use this prop type package to check the data type, and you can apply certain checks to that data and check if data is boolean or array or function or a number or string, and you can mark any of these properties as mandatory required. So this is a good package to check basic validity for data types in your app. That will save a lot of headache for you when your app grows. So type checking is good. Use prop types to check your data type. It's simple and easy way to validate data type for components. I hope you liked the video. If we missed anything or you have something to add or share, comment down below. Ask questions related to this topic. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe to the channel and hit bell icon to receive channel updates. Join us on social media. Links are in the description below. Stay tuned for more updates. I will see you in the next video.